What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Flagrant Talk Sports Podcast. It's Moses and Zay here.
Come on.
Back with some breaking news. Might not be breaking now to some of y'all, but pretty recent to us as we are recording on the day of this happening.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard is now a Milwaukee Buck. Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me. I mean, the fact that so when this alert dropped, one, I clicked on, because I have Woj's X notifications turned on.
Yep.
So I double checked to see if it was really him. I was like, it's someone
account.
dating?
Yeah,
like the Bucks? Like, that's out of nowhere. They weren't even discussed. Like, internally, it was the Raptors. It was obviously the Heat. The Heat were number one. There were more talks about the Celtics through this process than the Bucks. So I saw it was real. Instantly, Mo was at the gym, and I was like, "Oh, please pick up, please pick up." And he did. He came through, and that's how we started our morning.
This is how we started the day. Yeah, Zay broke the news to me because I wasn't at my phone, wasn't on my phone at the time. So broke the news, startled me, but we're here and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the Bucks, the Blazers, the Impacts, the Suns, the third team involved, and also other teams around the league because it impacts the entire league.
Totally.
Damian Lillard we're talking about. So
Yep. So we'll get right into it. Yeah, we'll dissect every team individually, what they got, what they gave up, and you know, kind of evaluate it, and then the fallout. What's next for a guy like Jrue Holiday? What are some teams that are now going to look to make some moves in the East and in the West now? Because it's like, hey, that the Bucks were a contender before, but now it's like, okay, that team's real good. That team is scary good. So starting things off, the Milwaukee Bucks, they got this guy named Damian Lillard. Pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Pretty good. Top 10-ish player in that tier. You've now paired him up with Giannis. Terrifying for the league.
Dude, that's roll, bro.
Bro, that was the first place my mind went to, is pick your poison.
What are teams gonna do? Let Dame chop you up from outside, or let Giannis bang out on you inside every time?
Yep. And
then don't forget about Pat Connaughton on the wing, Brook Lopez who could stretch, Bobby Bug-Eyed Portis ready to go. My guy, dude, they're scary.
Chris is still
Chris. I didn't even say Chris. Like, dude.
Yep. It's scary. The lineups that they can run, because you could have Lillard and Giannis and pick and roll, pick and pop, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
And then Brook is sitting in the corner. Can't leave him open. Then you have Middleton sitting in the other corner. Guess what? You can't leave him open.
Yep.
So it's really one of those pick your poison and deal with it.
Yeah.
And you know, the Bucks did give up quite a lot. Any team who was trading for Lillard was going to have to give up a lot.
Yep.
Multiple pick swaps. Was it 28 and 2030 are those pick swaps?
2028 and 2030, and then an unprotected first in 2029.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Jrue Holiday as well, who is personally, you know, one of my favorite guards in the league, one of my favorite players. I love the way he plays, the intensity.
Just gritty, doesn't hurt much. He just hoops, man.
He hoops.
Quiet.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And he's been good for a long
assassin.
time.
Yep, he's a silent. Exactly. He's a perfect definition of silent assassin. Yeah.
Yep. And so you obviously had to give up a lot to get Lillard. That was a given regardless of who traded for him.
That's why it took so long.
That's why it took so exactly.
Yep.
But I mean, you look at Milwaukee now and all of these things, Giannis continuously leaving the door open for maybe I'm going to leave. Maybe I'm not going to sign my extension. I'm kind of going to wait wait around. Kind of like what Kobe did when he was with the Lakers, and not requesting a trade at that point, but being like, hey, unless you surround me with pieces, I can't commit.
Yeah.
And it caused the Lakers at the time to trade for Gasol.
Yep.
This is a similar deal where it's Giannis is like, hey, I'm not saying I want to go, but
nothing happens.
This is an old team, and if you don't make a move to really get me another guy, I can't promise I'll stay.
Yep.
Lillard's there now. He's there.
He's staying. They're staying.
Yeah. I mean, it's Mo and I have talked about kind of like what we could do for best duos in the league and doing a separate video on that. So I don't really want to spoil that necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's high. I mean, it's Giannis and Dame is scary.
Could be one. Yeah.
100%.
Legitimate case for one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think too, like when you think of what worst case scenario could be, injuries don't count. That's worst case scenario for any guy, right?
Yep.
But like the worst case scenario is this still doesn't convince Giannis to stay, and at some point he does want to play in a bigger market.
Yep.
You still have Dame and Giannis for at minimum 2 years.
Yeah.
Minimum. In those 2 years, they're the favorite by a lot of people or top 3 by almost everyone.
Yep.
So that's your worst case scenario. Yep. And
they're definitely most people's favorites come out of the East at minimum now.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
But it's just what an unexpected turn of events.
Yeah.
I did not see this coming anywhere.
No. And I think real quick before we talk about the other teams who are involved, we have to address the Heat because that is what a loss.
Huge.
They whiffed.
You lose 2 final starters in the offseason.
Yep.
Gabe Struess, Max Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
I totally.
You swapped their names.
Oh my God.
And that was so impressive that you were able to do that.
Max Struess and Gabe Vincent. I'm just like that, I guess.
Yeah, no, that was impressive. Yeah.
They put some guys in trade talks with Dame. Personally, if I'm a player, I was in trade talks and I don't get traded.
Yep.
I'm like, why would I want to stay around and help you guys? Like, obviously, it's a business and you got to.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to affect chemistry a bit.
Got to.
The Heat are one of the biggest losers of this by far.
Yeah. I think the biggest. Because when you look at it, too, you have that, which I'm glad you brought that up about, like, we're kind of seeing that fallout with our Celtics and Brogdon, where apparently Brogdon is, like, not communicating with the team. Like, he's kind of, like, pissed. He's mad. Like, you were going to trade me.
Yeah.
And that is going to stick with a player for a guy like Hero, whose name was brought up instantly.
Yeah.
The name for the Heat was like, oh, well, he's gone, no matter what. And it's constant. And he's hearing it for months from Heat fans, too, who are like, hey, we got to get Dame. Like, it's a business. But at the same time, he's a person. So he's going to feel some type of way. The other part of this that hasn't been discussed by, any of these people, remember back in June when Mr. Bradley Beal was put on the trade block and the Heat didn't put their name in the mix, even when all the Suns had to give up were peanuts, basically, for a player of Beal's caliber. And the Heat stood strong, and they said, nope, we're going to get Lillard. We're going to get Lillard. We're going to do it. We're not worried about it.
Forgot about this, to be honest.
You whiffed on him, too. You whiffed on him, and then we're willing to let Struess go and willing to let Gabe Vincent go. You have Udonis Haslem retire, who, as a player at that point, isn't the biggest factor, but as a locker room presence,
huge,
big loss.
Yep.
You have the chemistry thing of Hero, of guys like that, like you brought up. No Beal, no Lillard, and not only did you miss out on Lillard, he is in your conference.
Yeah, you're going to see him.
You will see him.
Probably in the playoffs now.
Yep. Yeah.
It's just gonna how fate matches up.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. And I think that's the thing. You have Pat Riley, who's not willing to give in all the way for a superstar. He kind of banks on having some leverage. He didn't have any.
Yep.
He didn't have any. And Portland showed it. Kind of gave him the middle finger a little bit.
Yeah.
Of like, no, we got something. And he's going to go kick your ass in the playoffs too.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you're a Heat fan, this is really tough. Yeah. And I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
I really don't know what you do.
Because, like, who's they got Jimmy, Bam, Tyler.
Hero. Yep. You've got, I mean, they're going to have, you still have Martin. You still have, like, some of those guys, but, and it's the Heat. Their organization is so good. Their coaching is so good. And they have guys who pop up or do well every year in the postseason.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they were first overall or undrafted from freaking wherever. They're going to perform.
Mm-hmm. So you have that. You drafted Jaime Jaquez. You have Nikola Jovic. Duncan Robinson still under contract. Yeah, like you have some pieces, but you whiffed twice.
Yeah.
You didn't even go up to bat on the Beal one because you were willing to bank on getting Lillard. And my issue with that is if you were willing to bank on getting Lillard and not go in for Beal, you needed to go all in.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
100%.
You had to, because you are now in this spot where you're good. They're a playoff team.
They're going to make the playoffs. But
great duo. Jimmy in the playoffs he's proven. He's been great.
Yep.
Been to the finals 2 of the last 4 years. But damn, this is a big fallout.
That hurts, yeah.
Yeah. So that's just Heat thoughts. That's a team we had to include strictly because like they're the biggest losers of this.
Yep.
But now we go to the Blazers, who traded Mr. Dame, blew it up for good. Got Holiday, who we referenced, former number 1 overall pick from the Phoenix Suns, DeAndre Ayton. Tormani Kamara, I believe, is his name. And then, as you said earlier with the picks, 2029 unprotected first and pick swaps in 2028 and 2030. Blew it up. What do you think of this deal for them? Is this a haul you'd be okay with for Lillard, given you knew you had to trade him?
Obviously, I'm going to jump over to the MLB here.
Mm-hmm.
Angels didn't trade Ohtani. They're not going to get anything. He's gone. He's probably gone. Blazers, new Dame was leaving. They got some. I think they got fleeced.
Wow.
They also had to give up Yusef Nurkic, who obviously hasn't been that good since his tragic injury. But based on the DeAndre Ayton I've seen, I am not trading for DeAndre Ayton. I don't really care if he's a first overall pick. I don't really care. He has not been a good basketball player. And apparently, Drew Holiday is not going to be playing for the Portland Trail Blazers. He's going somewhere else. They're going to buy out his contract, probably get rid of him, something. So I don't know what they're going to get from this. I don't know, man. They got some good picks, three first round picks. That's cool, but I don't know, man. I feel like they could have gotten more. Something. I don't know what. Obviously, I'm talking from the outside, looking in. I could say all these things, but I just think it was a little bit of a fleecing.
I think the biggest thing for me is I can't even give this a grade until we see what they get for Drew Holiday, because they're going to get a haul. That is going to be, if I am a contending team, and we'll talk about him at the end of the video. If I'm a contending team, Portland, what's your price?
Yep.
because you have to. Like he is one of the few players in the league who you can trade for, and he is a legitimate difference maker.
Yep.
Like his defensive presence is ridiculous. It's so good, and he puts up like 19 a game.
I was about to say he'll shut one of the team's best players down, and also throw in a sneaky 20 piece.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Like, he's not a nobody on offense either. He is a decent scorer. He rebounds the ball well for a guard.
Pretty big, yeah.
He is so good. So I think the hard part of this is like it's hard to evaluate until you see what they get for Drew, because they're going to get something. Now, what that is, I don't know.
And who, I don't know.
No, I don't know what team would call. I don't know what team has the assets, the draft capital. It's probably going to be another 3-teamer. I mean, just the way that these things work. But the DeAndre Ayton thing is interesting.
Yeah.
I think for him, this is good. I think for Ayton, this is good. To go to another team, reset, is great. He signed a restricted free agent contract with Indiana when he was a free agent, and the Suns matched it. So he has been wanting to be gone for a while.
Yeah.
So I this is a good change of scenery. He's still young. He fits the Blazers timeline. The tough thing is money.
Yeah.
Because you're paying him and Jeremy Grant a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's tough. That's a lot. And Scoot's going to want money. And Simons is a good ball player. He's going to want some money. Shaedon Sharpe is going to want some money. They have so many pieces that it is going to get interesting to see what Portland does. There's a chance Ayton gets moved, too. Like, I don't think that can be ruled out at the deadline or next offseason. That he balls out and the Blazers maximize his, what they can get back, and they go, okay, bye.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's a weird haul back.
Yeah. This trade is just, it's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got rid of Nurkic, which I'm fine with. I'm totally fine with that. I don't think that's a big loss. You lost Nasir Little.
That one kind of hurts a bit. Like,
hurt.
He's still young, could be good. He showed some flashes, but I mean, I guess if you're gonna give up one of the young guys that you have, it would have been him. So
and he has a multi-year contract. Like, he was kind of needed for money purposes if you were gonna get an Ayton anyways, and Drew Holiday as well. So in order to take those contracts in, you had to give up someone like Nasir Little. So it's interesting. I think, in terms of giving a grade, I can't give one until I see what they get for Holiday, because he's going to be, I don't know what it is, but you would think a first, a young player or two, maybe a pick swap.
So I guess if I looked at it that way, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5. Okay, it probably would.
Yeah.
I'd take back my fleecing statement at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you were never going to get a value that's equal to Dame.
Yeah.
He's arguably the best player in that franchise's history.
Yeah.
If not, he's 2.
Mm-hmm.
The lowest. So it's like you were never going to get something back that the fans were happy with. But this also blows your team up. It allows Scoot Henderson to not have to deal with, hey, what about Dame? Oh, did you think Dame was going to be gone?
My rookie of the year agenda is starting to come into play a little bit. I'm like,
I know.
Yeah.
I saw recent, like 2 days ago, someone had left a comment on the YouTube short of you saying that, and he was like, he's right.
Yep.
He's right. So,
I think it was Riley. Thanks, Ry.
Yeah. I love Scoot. We've been documented and have caught some flack, but I don't care. I still stand by what I've said.
I'm standing by my take.
So you have him, dude. The Blazers guard room at this very moment of having Drew, Sharpe, Simons, Scoot, and Holiday.
That's damn good.
That's
damn good.
really good.
Yeah.
Those are 3 young guys who you really want to keep playing.
Dude,
And
imagine if Drew stayed for a bit and taught them some defense.
I think he does. I think you keep him till the deadline. If I'm the Blazers, I'm not rushing to trade him.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it sit because come deadline time, those contending teams are going to get kind of like antsy. The Heat, the Celtics in the East, like just talking about East teams.
Yeah.
We don't know what Harden is going to do.
Yep.
Maybe the Sixers are like, hey, we love Drew. He was on our team when he was a young bull. Let's bring him back. Let's see if him and Maxey and Embiid, like maybe that can happen. I'm just spitballing. But like those are pieces that and teams that you know are going to call, and that's only Eastern Conference.
For sure.
So I like you said, teaching those young guards some defense.
Because they can hoop offensively. They're ballers on offense.
Totally.
But they had some D to that. Watch out, man.
Could be really good. So if I'm the Blazers, Drew is such a good it breaks my heart because yesterday he had a quote where he was like, I am going to retire a Buck. I love winning. I've loved winning here. 2 years ago when they won a title, he said, I'm going to stay here for the rest of my career.
That hurts.
That hurts your heart. It's a business. And these are the trades that remind you of it, where it's like, damn, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he really loved Milwaukee, and he was so good for them, and he won a title with them. And
first year,
Yeah, so it's tough, but we might not be able to trade. We might not even be able to evaluate this till 2030 because
when they get Deuce Tatum.
Yeah, when
that's because that's what they traded for, basically.
No, seriously.
They're prepping for Deuce.
Listen, those, and I think that is, I get there are people who are like, man, those picks are far away. And NBA years through like 40 years from now. That's forever. I gotta wait forever for that.
Yeah.
But you're banking on, hey, what if Giannis isn't there in 2028, 2030, 2029, and we have their first, or a pick swap of it to where, oh, they're worse than us? Cool, we get that lotto pick.
Because isn't that how the Celtics got
it? Yes, and in the same way of like the Mavs did it with Grant Williams this offseason, where they gave I think it's 2029, a pick swap.
Yeah.
And it's like, at this moment, that's nothing. That means nothing. Come 2029, if Luka's gone and Kyrie's gone and the Mavs suck, that pick could be a difference maker. So
I'm about to say, it's not like 2K when you're trading those late picks because you're not going to be playing the franchise for that many years. But it's real life, man. Like, those picks are going to matter at some point. So it's cool. It's like, who knows? And maybe the Bucks are still good at that point, and that's totally possible too. The good thing with the pick swap is like you're guaranteed the better pick. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like that's totally fine. And you have an unprotected one in 2029 that you just get. Yep.
So we won't really know how to grade this until then, in all honesty.
Yeah.
What year? 7 years from now, 7 years from now, we'll be talking about like, damn, man, do you remember that? So I don't know. Interesting call for the Blazers.
I'll rescind my fleece statement from the beginning of this segment. I apologize, Blazers.
Respect.
It was a gut reaction.
Fair. That's what a lot of this is. Like, we're recording this just in real time, like a couple hours out.
After.
There's a lot that's still left to unfold and moves to be made. But the last team involved in this, the surprise team that had kind of been rumored to like be in these trade talks, but really made a move, the Phoenix Suns traded Ayton. Got Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. Big moves.
like it because they needed depth. They have one of the best top fours in the league, if not the best.
Yeah.
Top four, top threes, sorry.
Yeah.
But that was our whole thing this whole offseason is depth.
Yep.
One of those guys goes down, they're screwed. They're still probably screwed with the players that they got, but at least it's something. Grayson Allen's a solid player.
Yeah.
Nurkic, solid.
Yeah.
Nazir Little could be solid. Where was Keon Johnson? Was he a Blazer?
I'm pretty sure he was, but I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely, like, no disrespect at all, but like the smallest piece of what
For
they
sure.
got back.
For
which
sure.
No hate, but
no,
yeah.
Not hating, but
yeah, I think this one's really complicated too, because in the same way, like I had said that it's a W for Ayton to go to a new spot, I think it's a win for the Suns to get him off.
Yep.
Whoa. To trade him?
There we go.
Timeout.
There we go.
Timeout. But to trade him, because, you know, it would be hard to play with a dude where you know he does not want to play there.
Yeah.
Like he wants to be moved.
Yep.
He wants to go to a new location. So I think it's a win. The depth thing is the big thing. They totally Grayson Allen, that's a player you can play every night. Nasir Little, that's a guy you can play every night. Nurkic is a center you can start. The flip side of that is Yusuf has not been a strong defensive presence since his gruesome injury.
Yeah.
And the Suns this whole time have said, that's who we need. We need a rim protector. We need a really good defender. Maybe Nurkic, and this is the season, and him playing in Phoenix sparks that.
He's one of the better rebounding centers in the league. But, yeah, not really.
I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on banking on that. And I think, realistically, him and Ayton are pretty similar defensive bigs at this very point.
Yeah.
Like, peak, it's Nurkic. But currently, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So, I that part makes me a little hesitant. Also, long-term potential. He's older, so that's lower for him than an Ayton.
Yep.
This is a weird one because I get it for them.
For sure.
Like, the depth is great. They needed that. Like you said, they are very top-heavy.
Yeah.
So, Grayson and Nazir and them, and then you still have Eric Gordon. You have Josh Okogie. Like, you still have some guys. Is good, but at the same time, like, I'm not sold on Nurkic being the right move.
Yeah.
For Ayton.
Yeah.
So
you definitely could have probably got something better.
Maybe, but that's the part, I guess, like, for me, like, the counter argument to my thing is, like, who knows what was a team really willing to trade for him?
That's what I'm saying. After seeing him in the playoffs, I'm not trading for him. That, like,
nothing serious.
Yeah, nothing that I care about.
No. Like
that was one of the worst playoff performances I've seen in a while. It looked like he didn't want to play.
No,
that he was like forcibly being put out there.
Yes.
Like that one kid in middle school who had to play for, like, they just stand there and walk around, bitch. Sorry, but literally that's what it looked like.
Yeah. No, it that is a perfect analogy. It looked like the kid who hates gym, who doesn't want to go play. They don't want to do any of that. That's not fun to them, but they have to because they get a grade for it. In the same way, Ayton gets a paycheck for it. So, all right, I guess I got to be here. I got to put in enough credit to get my grade to pass the class. But Ayton wasn't even passable.
No, I would have failed it, bro. Landale was
10 times better.
Center. Yes.
Like more
and
than
I don't
10.
even know where he came from.
He a St. Mary's legend. Okay,
There it is.
Respect
There
the
it
St.
is.
Mary.
There it is.
St.
My
Mary's
fault.
go.
My fault.
WCC legend.
Was he on one of the teams? The team that beat Gonzaga?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Because I think he was on St. Mary's the COVID year.
Oh, okay.
The year where like they had defeated them in the WCC, or man, my years are messed up.
Yeah, the years are mixing.
But it's somewhere in the Vegas WCC tournament that I'm pretty sure he was on that team. But
yeah,
there's no excuse for him to be playing better than the former number 1 overall pick.
And
he was drafted over Luka.
How much is Ayton getting paid? What's his contract?
It's near max. It might not be a super max, but I think it
is 4-year 132.
Oh, so it was a max.
That's a max.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Yeah, maximum contract offer sheet. Yeah.
So,
brother, we need more.
You have a big moment for Ayton's career. This is one of those moments in a career where this defines how the rest of your career is going to pan out, because you have an opportunity for Portland to embrace you, to be a part of a young group, to grow your game, to develop. You're on a team that doesn't have high expectations. It's not Phoenix.
Yep.
You're in the West. Like, no one is expecting that, but they are expecting you to put the work in to prove that you care. Like,
and
that is the
max.
Yes, worthy of your contract.
Yeah.
Worthy of your contract, because, that's the thing. And like, it's one of those arguments that I like to bring up all the time when people do like rankings, like player rankings, is people will be like, oh, well, look at their contract. That does not set. You can be Jaylen Brown, for example. In my opinion, he is overpaid, but he is still underrated. And I say that because he's overpaid. He's the highest paid player in basketball, and he's not the best player in basketball. You're overpaid. Simply. No.
Yeah.
Exactly. For that reason alone, you are overpaid.
Mm-hmm.
You can also be underrated because now a lot of fans are like, look at all that money he makes. No, he's docked down a bit. And that's not fair. So it's the same thing with Ayton.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still a great player. I think Ayton still has potential. I still think there is potential for him to grow into not being like a Hall of Famer, not being any of those things. And maybe he could be. But to be a guy who you can count on every game to show up.
Yeah.
To be positive.
I don't know if this was a thing until last year, but I feel like I didn't really hear too much Ayton slander before that. Like, I feel like he's already kind of shown a little bit that he can be.
Yeah.
I just feel like last year, I don't know what happened, what time frame they were in, what dimension what happened, but it was just not good.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Maybe maybe the change of scenery, like you said, will revitalize him and he'll come back and show that he's worth max. But
yeah, I totally think he has that.
Yeah,
I think that is a real range of outcomes, and I'm rooting for him because, listen, man, when Luka is in that draft class, everyone will inherently be like, man, Ayton could add Luka. Like that would suck. That would suck a lot. So I hope Ayton is able to be like, hey, I may not be Luka, but I'm a baller. I'm an all-star big. I'm a guy you got to respect every night. Like, that is what I hope. And I'm not even an Ayton fan. I'm not a Suns fan. I'm not a Blazers fan. But as like a person, that's what I want to see Ayton do.
For sure.
And I think he can.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we've addressed the Bucks, the Blazers, the Suns, the Heat. Now let's address the rest of the league. In your opinion, early reactions, we haven't even seen them play together. Do you think the Bucks are the best team in the NBA?
I will go on the record to say that they're the second best behind the Denver Nuggets. They're the best in the East.
Fair.
But the Nuggets got a pretty solid guard and pretty good big.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets got pretty good role players and a pretty solid coach.
Yeah.
The Nuggets won the finals last year. So I'm not going to say best. I'll give them best in the East.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me again maybe a week into the season.
After you see some of that pick and roll, you're like,
yeah.
Shit. Well,
yeah.
Maybe I was wrong.
But I'll give them 2. I'll be a little lenient. Give them 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. This is tough because again, we haven't seen them.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them. The only real concern, because I don't have a worry about Dame and Giannis gelling. They're so good that they're going to work well off each other. Like that's kind of a given.
And clearly they like each other based off of Dame's tweets, Giannis, whatever. Clearly they're friends. So
totally. So that is not something I worry about. I will say, and again, to show more and more respect to Jrue Holiday as a guard, that is a big defensive loss.
Yeah.
And Lillard's a good defender.
I was about to say Dame's not a trash defender. No, he can hold his own.
Not. No, he's good. But he's not Jrue Holiday.
Yep.
Exactly. And that is the one thing where I'm like, if they're going to lose, if they're going to get upset in the playoffs, if they're going to come up short in the finals, that is why.
Yeah.
And they have good defenders. Giannis is a defensive player of the year candidate, a legitimate one. Brook Lopez is a good rim protector.
Still, somehow his old ass is still an amazing rim protector.
Still. Yeah. Bobby Portis is a good defender. You have some wing guys, Pat Connaughton, guys like that.
Yes.
So you have good defense. Chris Middleton is a good defender. Like, I'm not worried because it's a team where they have no defense and it's pure buckets and it's like, that scares me.
Yep.
But you're used to having Jrue Holiday, who you could put on a team's best player.
Yeah. Like
not even best guard.
4 probably. Yeah.
And if he's catches someone off the ball, if he gets switched on to a bigger, offensive player, you still feel good because he can rip him.
Yeah, you didn't have to switch right back like you would with Dame.
Yeah.
Because it's a mismatch.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So that is the concern. The Nuggets did lose Bruce Brown, and that does scare me a little bit because that was a key piece of them winning a chip. I just feel like at this moment, I don't want to disrespect Denver.
Right.
Right. That's it. Like, maybe they're not the best team. That's totally realistic. They don't go back to back. But people disrespected Denver last year.
Yeah, I was part of it.
Yeah.
Until
until you saw it and were like, well, damn, no, this is real.
Respect. Yeah.
Yeah, this is real. Like, I was wrong. That's okay.
Yep.
And everyone now, I think the Nuggets are second in title odds because the Bucks went to 1 instantly.
They know people are hammering the Bucks today.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they know too. A lot of casual fans too are like, "Oh yeah, easy.
That's free money, bro. I'm doing a future Bucks tip.
Yeah, I'm doing it today, man. Yeah, I've already got. They're gonna sweep.
Yep,
they're gonna sweep today.
I got them 4-0 throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, so no worry. But yeah, I will put respect on Denver, but I agree with you. The Bucks at this moment, I put it 1 in the East.
Yeah, unfortunate. That hurts. It kills me to say.
It does. It is kind of interesting to see some parallels between them and the Celtics because the Celtics traded a guard who is an elite defender as well that leaves the team with question marks. It's the same thing with the Bucks where the Bucks got Giannis, Dame.
Yeah.
But the Celtics got Porzingis. They got a third all-star quality player. So they made a big move as well.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if I'm the Celtics, I am calling Portland now. I would have already called them earlier. But I'm on the phone with them. Price for Holiday. Name your price. I don't even know what the deal would be. But
dude, if we got Drew Holiday.
That or if you're the Heat. If you were the Heat, oh my God.
Yeah.
The Heat, that's the difference. The Heat are in, like, I don't want to say desperation, but at this point, you need something.
Yeah.
You need something bad. So Holiday with Bam and Jimmy on defense, oh my goodness.
Dude, that team would be
my
filthy.
Goodness.
Yeah.
That is scary. So I don't know what team does it. If you're the Blazers and the Sixers call you, do you even give a crap about Harden as like a piece you could get rid of? I don't think so.
If I'm them, I would want Maxey, bro.
Yeah, and they're not going to get Maxey.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like the 76ers aren't going to do that.
That would be dumb. In my opinion, I think that's a lateral move. You're speeding up your timeline with Embiid, and that's not necessarily what you want. Yeah. The Knicks in the East, you have Brunson. I don't really know what deal gets that done or if that makes any sense. Yeah. The Cavs, you love Garland, you love Mitchell. I think that's pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
The West,
Warriors give up Chris Paul and
yeah. I mean, that would be intriguing to have Draymond and Drew on a team. I really don't know. I really think it would come down to the Heat. I think it comes down to the Celtics. And I would say, like, the Sixers or Raptors are those weird teams where it's like maybe.
You know what I just thought of? I don't know why, and I don't know how.
Yeah.
About the Clippers.
Oh, man. That defense.
You see what Kawhi said? He's in his grocery duffel bag this year, handing out treats. So
he is so funny.
I'm excited. Hopefully he plays more than 14 games because I love you, Kawhi. I'd like to see you play a little bit, please.
Me too.
And I'd like to see what you and the Clippers could do healthy, please.
Me too.
But, yeah, man. No, for sure. Definitely Heat, Celtics. Maybe one of the contender on the edge in the West.
Yeah. I think, the Lakers are going to be brought up because it's the Lakers. It's the same way the Celtics get brought up, where every time anything it was the same thing with Lillard. There was not really a real chance the Celtics got Lillard unless you were willing to trade JB.
Yeah.
And the moment they paid him, it was like, okay, well,
not happening.
That's not happening. So yeah, the Lakers are going to get brought up, and like I can see it now. I can see like our NBA insiders from ESPN, and it's like D'Lo and some BS for Drew, and it's like okay, like original. That's a good one, man. Yeah, no one thought of that. It would be great. I know our good friend Matthew and the Lakers would be very excited about getting him, but I don't really see a path, which means it's going to happen, and this clip is going to bite me in the ass.
Yeah, and we'll post it everywhere when it does.
So, yeah,
perfect.
But yeah, this trade is crazy. I mean, we spent how long now? 43 minutes expecting. Now I guess we let it marinate.
Yep. The only time is going to tell, man.
Yep. But the Bucks are a very good team. There's going to be a lot of videos that obviously stem from us going forward, and as the NBA season is progressing.
Yep.
can guarantee this will be a topic of discussion
for sure
weekly.
Yeah.
So yeah, big move by the Bucks. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Huge
fan. But they know what time it is. Song of the pod.
Most important part of your day.
Yeah. Like, oh, Lillard. Pfft, don't care.
Yeah, no, low-key, you should have called me and been like, Mo, what's your song of the pod today?
Yeah.
That's what
and also Lillard got traded.
Yeah, no, you should have done it like that.
Yeah, like, hey Mo, so yeah, do you have an idea for song of the pod? Oh, you do? Cool. Lillard got traded to the Bucks.
Yeah, by the way.
Yeah. So we'll probably talk about that. Probably do an early video to talk about it. What is your song for these beautiful people?
Well. Guess who decided to come and save summer a few days before it ended?
Yep.
Lil Tecca dropped a heater with Tech. Banger album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's called Tech. I know there's a song called Tech. Is the album called Tech? What's the album?
I think so.
Okay.
I want to say yes.
That up. Anyway, my song off that solid album, the transitions, if you guys haven't gotten to listen to that, peak. So every song transitions into the next. And that is partly why this is my song of the pod, Just by Lil Tecca, yes. Song 3 on the album. Beautiful instrumental, Tech is flowing, and then it just transitions into the vibey flow of 500 pounds. So Just is a great song, Zay.
Love it. Good pick. Because you could put Just and 500 pounds back to back, and it's
oh my gosh. It's like the SpongeBob meme.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Take me up. It's that great pick.
Thank you.
I've got Sometimes by Blast and Zakari. Zakari sings the hook on Love, for those of you who don't know, with Kendrick Lamar. He's very talented. He's on TDE. He's great. Him and Blast, R&B combo. It's amazing. I've played that song out in the past like 3 weeks. So great song. Put that shit on. The words of AB. We appreciate y'all.
Yes,
we coming through with the Flagrant Talk pod. Hey, dropping a day early. Because this is important, man. We can't wait till Friday.
Yeah, this is important. This one's going to be dropping on Thursday for y'all.
Probably not a second video this week. However, just wait till next week. We got some surprises. So if you stick all the way through, be ready. Be on the lookout. Turn noties on.
Yep.
Sub. Tell your mama to sub. Tell your auntie to sub.
Tell your enemies
to sub. Tell your enemies to sub.
Yep.
And if you got any enemies, tell them Flagrant Talk. F them. We don't rock with y'all, but sub anyways. You know what I'm saying? It's,
come talk your ish on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead and rant. Rant in the comments. Don't even talk about Lillard. Who cares?
Yep.
Just get it off.
You're welcome to here.
You're welcome.
Yep.
You are all welcome.
Yep.
We hope all of you have an amazing day. Bucks fans, congrats. Heat fans,
pop the champagne.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Sit in the shower on cold with a tub of ice cream tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking out for y'all because damn. Tough day.
Yeah.
Dame time.
Freak time.
Dame time. We hope y'all have an amazing day, amazing weekend, and we will see y'all in the next video.
Yes, we will. We'll see you, everyone.